It's time for some explosive news from the Formula One world. Sky Sports analyst Ralf Schumacher has just dropped a bombshell about Mercedes' latest car, the W15. According to the former driver, the car doesn't look too promising, and he's predicting another rough year for the team. Can you believe it? Let's dive into this video today to uncover all the juicy details and find out what this means for Mercedes' chances on the track. Ralf Schumacher didn't like how Mercedes performed during the pre-season test in Bahrain. He's worried that Lewis Hamilton and George Russell might struggle in the upcoming 2024 Formula One season. In Bahrain, the Red Bull RB20, which people think is based on last year's Mercedes W14, did well on the first day of testing. Max Verstappen liked how comfortable the car felt, and now people think he might dominate most races this year, just like he did in 2023. Mercedes had a tough time in the last two seasons with results that were not as good as expected. To bounce back, they tried something new by introducing unique front wings, but during the Bahrain training sessions they couldn't lead, and Red Bull and Verstappen were ahead. Ralf Schumacher is not happy with how Mercedes performed. Before going to Bahrain, Mercedes revealed a new concept with the W15. After not winning any races last year, the team decided to drop their zero-pod idea. Last year marked Mercedes' first Formula One season without winning a single Grand Prix since 2011. However, in 2022, George Russell managed to secure a victory for the team at the São Paulo Grand Prix before they experimented with a new concept called the zero-pod. So during the F1 test in Bahrain, George Russell set the fastest lap for Mercedes on the third day of testing. This was a positive sign for the team, considering their winless season in 2023. Mercedes' lack of success in 2023 also led Lewis Hamilton to consider leaving the team. He ultimately decided to sign with Ferrari after the 2024 season. Hamilton triggered an escape clause in his contract with Mercedes, which he had signed only in August of the previous year. Lewis Hamilton is optimistic about Mercedes' chances for the upcoming season after testing their new W15 car in Bahrain. He believes the team has made significant improvements and has designed a much better car than the previous W14 model. Hamilton also praises the team for coming up with an entirely different concept, which has made the car much more enjoyable to drive. On the other hand, George Russell made an impressive performance during the pre-season test in Bahrain. He set the fastest lap time for Mercedes with a 1:30.168 on the C4 Pirelli tyres. Russell achieved this time on the third and final day of testing. Throughout the test sessions, Russell completed a total of 189 laps, demonstrating his consistency and skill behind the wheel. Meanwhile, Hamilton completed 172 laps, showing his commitment to refining the car's performance. Mercedes unveiled an interesting front wing with the W15 for 2024. During the first 2 days of testing in Bahrain, Mercedes focused on completing as many laps as possible, with George Russell driving on day 1 and Lewis Hamilton taking over on day 2. This led Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko to suggest that Mercedes might be concealing their true performance level. However, Ralf Schumacher, a former driver for Jordan Williams and Toyota, expressed disappointment with Mercedes' performance in Bahrain. Despite this, Red Bull technical director Pierre Wache found Mercedes' car for the 2024 Formula One season surprising, particularly praising the design of the W15's front wing. Despite Lewis Hamilton's positive outlook after testing the W15 in Bahrain, where he praised the car's improvements and the team's innovative approach, Schumacher remains skeptical. The 39-year-old, who is set to join Ferrari after the 2024 season, decided to leave Mercedes by triggering an escape clause in his contract, signed in August. I am also slightly disappointed with Mercedes after the 3 test days in Bahrain. I have a feeling it will remain as it was last year, Schumacher told Sky. That would also confirm why Lewis Hamilton lost confidence in Mercedes and went to Fred Vasseur's call, and it was really expected that Red Bull would do so well. They are the team of the moment. Schumacher was disappointed with how Mercedes' new car, the W15, performed during the pre-season testing in Bahrain. He fears that Mercedes might face another challenging year ahead. Schumacher speculated that this could be one of the reasons why Hamilton decided to leave the team. He suggested that Hamilton's lack of confidence in Mercedes may have influenced his decision to accept an offer from Ferrari. According to Schumacher, Ferrari provided Hamilton with a more appealing deal, offering him more money and a longer contract. Hamilton's move to Ferrari was not solely based on Mercedes' performance, but also on his desire to fulfill his long-standing dream of driving for Ferrari. With Hamilton's departure from Mercedes, there's uncertainty surrounding who will take his place. Schumacher suggested that Sebastian Vettel, another former Formula One champion, might consider returning to the sport. However, there are concerns about whether Vettel or the current Mercedes driver, George Russell, can match Hamilton's global appeal and marketing influence. Mercedes now faces the challenge of finding a suitable replacement for Hamilton to lead the team alongside Russell. If Mercedes fails to improve its performance, they risk falling behind on the grid. However, it's essential to remember that the pre-season testing results may not accurately reflect a team's true performance, and the real test will come during the first race in Bahrain. Ralf Schumacher's remarks underscore the fact that Lewis Hamilton's decision to leave Mercedes was indeed motivated by his dissatisfaction with the team's performance. By joining Ferrari, Hamilton sees a chance for a new beginning and fresh challenges. Meanwhile, Mercedes is tasked with the challenge of identifying a suitable replacement for Hamilton and enhancing their competitiveness on the racing circuit. Why is Lewis Hamilton leaving Mercedes? Lewis Hamilton's decision to leave Mercedes stems from his desire for change after being with the team since 2013 and winning numerous championships. Despite having a contract with Mercedes until 2025, Hamilton has surprised many by announcing his move to Ferrari in 2025. One factor influencing Hamilton's departure is Mercedes' recent difficulties. The team has struggled to achieve victories, and their car hasn't been performing up to par. Hamilton himself hasn't won a race in the past 2 seasons. In contrast, Ferrari has been making improvements to their car, increasing their competitiveness. Hamilton sees an opportunity to race with Ferrari and is eager to explore new possibilities. Mercedes' challenges became more apparent with the introduction of ground effect regulations in 2022. Their failure to adapt and insistence on sticking to a flawed concept for an extended period exacerbated the situation. In light of these circumstances, Hamilton may have lost faith in the team that once helped him secure 6 world titles. Another factor contributing to Hamilton's decision to leave Mercedes is the design issues with their car, particularly with generating sufficient downforce. This deficiency makes it challenging for Hamilton to navigate corners at high speeds. Despite attempts to rectify the issue, the car has not performed as well as anticipated. Hamilton may believe that Ferrari can provide him with a superior car, thus enhancing his chances of success on the track. Hamilton's departure from Mercedes will inject new energy into the team as they search for a replacement driver, which could bring excitement and fresh perspectives. While Hamilton's exit marks the end of an era for Mercedes, it also presents them with opportunities for growth and evolution. His choice to depart from Mercedes and join Ferrari reflects his desire for new challenges and opportunities. He seeks to explore new avenues and see what he can accomplish with a different team. Although he is grateful for his time with Mercedes, he feels compelled to embark on a new chapter in his career. Furthermore, it's speculated that Ferrari offered Hamilton an enticing deal that included perks not offered by Mercedes, such as a longer contract, better compensation, and an ambassadorial role until 2035. If these rumors are accurate, Hamilton's substantial salary of $100 million per year would once again establish him as the highest-paid driver in Formula One. Additionally, driving for Ferrari has always been a lifelong aspiration for Hamilton, and at the age of 40, he will finally realize that dream. With Hamilton's departure at the end of 2024, Mercedes will need to find an experienced driver to take his place. It appears that George Russell will step into the leadership role within the team. However, if Mercedes continues to struggle in terms of performance, they risk slipping into the midfield. Nevertheless, drawing conclusions based solely on pre-season testing times is premature. The true competitive landscape will only become clear after the first race in Bahrain. So, what do you think of the ongoing struggles of Mercedes? Comment below and subscribe for more.